Record on this computer. Okay, so we're recording now. Okay, so Kal Kadosh, what we're doing is as follows. If you remember, we learned Siman Tafayin Bet. We did Sif Aleph, Bet, Gimel, and Dalet. So we basically spoke about how that the just to do a very quick summary, we said that the Shulchan Aruch, which means that our table should be set, right? Our tables should be set. I see everyone's enjoying the supper. It says over here that the table should be set. Already we're talking about that the second that you come home, the table should be set in order for you to eat immediately. Okay, but there's a mitzvah to do it quickly. However, though, you're not supposed to start, whether it's arvit or any other thing, you're not supposed to start until it's 100% nighttime. Okay, so that's very, very important. Okay, so now it says over here as follows. Okay, see, bet was also that a person should have the most beautiful of his utensils. He should act like Direk Sdara. And Sif Gimel was that when you're going to do the leaning should be done on your left side.
Rabbi.
Yeah.
Because you don't have your microphone on, when you turn your head down to read, we don't hear you well. But if you
so 1 minute, let me put it on. Hold on.
If you look at the screen all the time, then we hear you well.
Yeah, it's exactly that.
So 1 minute.
You have to look straight. If you turn your head, we don't hear anything.
This is not.
Now you hear me a little bit better?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Very good. So what's going to happen is as follows. Okay, we're going to continue with Seif. I'm going to hide this. Seif Hey. So if you remember, we finished with Seif Taled, which spoke about a woman that she's not obligated to do a Heseba unless she's a Isha Chashuva. The Rama said that all women nowadays are considered Nashim Chashuvot, and that was the minhag anyway nowadays, but they still don't have the minhag of doing it because of the Ravya, which we're going to speak about the Ravya. That's why it's very important to know the Shita of the Ravya, and nowadays there's no obligation to do a Heseba. We did say that the Sfaradim, though, we still do Heseba for the women as well. Okay, so this is where we got up to last time. We're on Sif Hey. Sif Hey says in Shulchan Aruch. Okay, I'm sharing the screen with everybody so you can actually see it. Oops. Okay. Sif Hey. Ben Etzel Aviv. A son that is sitting with his father. Tzarich, so he is going to be obligated. Heseba. He's obligated to do Heseba. Afilu hu rabo muvhat. Right? Even if he's going to be his rabbi, his Rav Muvhat. Now, however, though, a Talmid lifnei rabo, a student by his rabbi, en tzarich Heseba, does not do Heseba. Afilu eno rabo muvhat, even though he's not his fixed rabbi. Ela im ken, unless iten lo rabo reshut. So here we're seeing a difference between a son to a father and a student to the rabbi. Okay, so we're gonna see in the Mishnah also what the difference is as well. The Talmid Chacham muflag bedoro. When you have a Talmid Chacham which is muflag bedoro, af al pi shelo laman mimenu klum, even though he didn't learn anything whatsoever from him, he's still considered his rabbi. Ve'en tzarich Heseba, and he does not do Heseba. Now here the Rama brings in the davka kishochlin al shulchan echad. That's only if they're eating at the same table. But if each one is eating on their own table, you do have to do a Heseba. Okay, so let's see exactly what are we talking about. Okay, very important is we're trying to find out exactly what are we doing exactly. So let's see what it says. Okay, so it starts like this. Mishnah Berurah says, "Tzarich Heseba, de'af de'aben chayav bichvodo u'morao." Because even though the son is obligated in the kavod and in the morah of his father, the kol shekeni morabo, and all the more so if his father is his rabbi. Mikol makom tzarich, nevertheless he still needs to do Heseba. Why? Says the Mishnah Berurah, the mistama av machi livneh. Because mistama, the father forgives his son, which means the fact that there's a mistama that the father will forgo and will let his son do Heseba. So therefore, even though the father is his rabbi and his father is his Rav Muvhak and everything that you want, the son could still do Heseba. However, though, to do with a Talmid Etzel Rabo, because this was Tetvav. Remember, Tetvav is going back on over here where it says Talmid Lifnei Rabo en tzarich Heseba. So when it says over here, Talmid etzel Rabo eno tzarich Heseba, says the Mishnah Berurah, Mishum deverei shamar tzarich, since in the Reisha, in the first case, right, in the first case of the son to the father, it was written tzarich. So nakatacha, so to here brought down the words eno tzarich, that you do not need to do Heseba. Aval be'emet, says the Mishnah Berurah, but the truth is, isura nami ika. Not only that eno tzarich, it's asur, which means that you would do an isur if you're going to do it. Lasev befanav. Why? Demora rabo kemora shamayim. Because the fear of your rabbi is like the mora shamayim. So this is actually very, very interesting, right? Because when we're talking about this, right, here I have Ben Etzel Aviv. This is based upon the Gemara, okay? And then it says as follows. It says, Bier Hamaritz Kiyut. We're talking about Talmid Etzel Rabo. What's the reasoning? So it says here in Hilchot Pesachim, he says, She'af shegama heseba mitzvahi. Says 1 second. But when you're doing Heseba, Heseba is a mitzvah in itself. Here we didn't go into it very, very much, but there's a whole question about Heseba. What type of a mitzvah is it? Is Heseba, let me just get to it, it says over here, is it mitzvah min Torah or midrabanan? In the Shiltot of Relachai Gaon, he says that mitzvah Heseba is midrabanan. The Rambam says that the reason why we have to do Heseba is on the night of Pesach is to show that we're coming out of Mitzrayim. So he says, v'zacharta ki v'ra'ita, so we have to do derech cherut. So if you ate without Heseba, the Chazon Ovadia says that it all depends on the machloket. The Tosafot and Ritva says you are mekayem mitzvah min Torah shelo ketitun chachamim if you're going to mitzvah chovah midoraita or not. So therefore, there's a whole question over here, right? That is it Rabbanan, Doraita? But according to everybody, Heseba is a mitzvah. So the question is, if right now Heseba is a mitzvah, why wouldn't you be able to do Heseba in front of your rabbi? So it says, Mikom Makom, Kvod Rabo, Hu Kvod Torah, V'Abdifa Mitzvah Heseba. Says the Marat Kiyut, he says the Kvod of your rabbi is like Kvod of Torah, and it's greater than Mitzvah Heseba. Okay, and then that's why it's very, very important. Then Rabbeinu Manoach comes and he says another reason, Shemora harav gadol yotzer mimitzvat Heseba mishum sheshakul lemora Hashem. He says, since the fear of your rabbi has to be the same as the fear of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's why it's a higher mitzvah. Meaning, even though you have two mitzvot here, you have the mitzvah of respecting your rabbi, and then you have the mitzvah of Heseba, still the mitzvah of respecting your rabbi surpasses the mitzvah of Heseba. Okay? Now, says the Mishnah Berurah, what does it mean here, Ela in Ken, which means?
It's still a little confusing, because if ultimately you don't do Heseba in front of the Rab, because the Rab is representing a higher force like HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So ultimately what you're saying is you don't bend down in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but it is the same HaKadosh Baruch Hu who obligates you to do Heseba. So it's a little like contradictory. If you don't do it in front of the Rab, because the Rab represents God, and you don't want to be disrespectful of God, but it's the same God who tells you to do Heseba.
Very good. So we're going to explain the following. First of all, it's not the same God that tells you to do Heseba. Heseba was the Rabbanan, according to the majority of the Shittot. So it's only the rabbis. Now, the rabbis are teaching you what to do, the right or not. But I'm going to explain it to you as follows. Right? This is a very famous case that is actually brought down on the Rav Chida. And we've brought it down many times in Hilchot Kriyat Shema. Right now, you're in the middle of Kriyat Shema. And your father, your rabbi, comes into the Beit Knesset. Are you allowed to stand up?
I went on mute. I would say that you're osek ba mitzvah, so you're patur from another mitzvah. That's what I would say.
So it's actually brought down, the says of Chida, you're obligated to stand up. And the reason why you're obligated to stand up is because by you standing up for your father, your rabbi, you're ultimately respecting HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Which means, don't look at it as if, say, you're taking it away from the honor of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but rather you're respecting HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now here, it's the exact opposite. Why is it the exact opposite? When you do a Heseba in front of your rabbi, it's disrespect. So therefore, even if right now I'm going to say, listen, but you're doing a mitzvah, you're being disrespectful to your rabbi. So therefore, in that case, we don't say that, listen, I'm doing a mitzvah, Hashem. No, but you're taking away. And since the mitzvah of respecting your rabbi is the same equal as the respect that you have to have for Hashem, so therefore you don't do the Heseba. It's the exact opposite by the Kriyat Shema. by the Kriyat Shema, by you respecting your rabbis or respecting your father, it shows that you're respecting HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So therefore, since it's all in the same respect, you're allowed and you're supposed to do it in the middle of Kriyat Shema. But by here, where it's exact opposite, it's like disgraceful for you to do it. Did you realize that it even said by the father and the son, the mistama av machil libne, which means that it's mistama that the father forgives the son. Which means that if it wasn't for the father forgiving the son, and let's say we knew that the father was more strict on the son, be'emet it would be even prohibited for the son to do it in front of the father. It's only because of mechila, so that's fine. A rabbi doesn't mochel his students like a father mochels his children. That's a special din in a father to a child, not in a rabbi to a talmid. Now, if the rabbi does give him the permission, which that was an exif katan, then he's obligated to do a heseba. Because then again, once you have that the rabbi is telling you, do it, there's no disrespect anymore. Now you go back to the opposite, to the requirement, and then you are obligated to do it. That makes sense or not? Hello? Somebody's there?
Yeah. We're good. I just go on mute to not interrupt you.
Okay. No problem. Very good. Okay, fine. Very good. So let's continue. So now that Mishnah Berurah just said, that was the next one, was that if he's going to give him permission, so then what happens is now he's going to be mechuyav lehaseb. So then he's going to be obligated to do a seba. Okay, now it says over here like this. What does this mean when it says yitel lo rabo reshut? Right? What does that mean that this rabbi is giving her permission? It says hainu shiyarshehu beferush ve'az mehani afilu b'rabo muha. Meaning it's not just stam. Some people come in and say, yeah, he gives you permission. But did you ask him explicitly? So here the Mishnah Berurah is saying, she has to explicitly give you the permission, and then it helps even if he's going to be a Rav Muvak. Because did you realize there's a difference between Rav Muvak and Rav and Muvak? Nowadays, some people say that it doesn't exist, the concept of Rav Muvak anymore, because the majority of us learn from Sefarim, which means that no matter how much you're going to learn from a certain rabbi, right, many times you'll open up a book, a Sefer, you're going to start learning by yourself. So some people say Rav Muvak doesn't exist anymore. But in this halakha, anyway, Rav Muvak or Ein Muvak was the exact same halachot. The second that he's your rabbi, even if he's not Ravo Muvak, and Ravo Muvak means the majority of your chokhmah, the majority of your wisdom comes from him, still it's the same halachot. So here it says that the second that you asked him mefurash, as long as you asked him mefurash, so then this would help, even if he's going to be your Rav Muvak, there's no problem whatsoever. You could do the heseba, right, or you're obligated to do the heseba once he gives you the permission. Okay? Now, the Ramah comes, and he said that what happens if every single person is al shulchan bifnei atzmo, which means everyone is eating on their own table. So it says, afal pi shu bifnei rabo, and he says, even though at the end of the day, he's in front of his rabbi, b'ta'amo, and what's the reasoning? Right? At the end of the day, if he's in front of his rabbi, what do I care whether there's one table or 10 tables? Imagine right now, each one of us have our own table. At the end of the day, if you're going to do a seba in front of your rabbi, that's already the disgrace. He says, no. The Ta'amon, the reasoning why, according to the Ramah, it's going to be permitted if each one has their own table, because since he's on his own table, it's not considered a zilzul to the kavod of the rabbi. However, though, the Pri Chadash argues on this, and according to him, as long as his rabbi could see him, he cannot do any type of a seba. Because of the fear of his rabbi. But says the Pri Megadim, if you have your own tables, at least make sure that you ask him permission, and then there won't be any problems. Okay, so that was the Sif Hey. Okay, until here we're clear. This is Sif Hey. Okay. Sif Vav. I'm taking Shtika Kauda. Yeah, which means that if it's too quiet, it's actually a good sign. Sif Vav. Shulchan Aruch is a one-liner, says, Shamash tzarich heseba. The Shamash, he needs to do a seba as well. Remember that the Shamash here is the person that he's serving the food, like a waiter type of a thing, so he also has to do heseba. Says the Mishnah Berurah in Sivav. Actually, you know what? I forgot to check if there's anything here in the footnotes. Okay, the Chazon Ovadia just, on the previous Sif, the Chazon Ovadia just says that if the father is makpid on his son, meaning that he's makpid, so then you're obligated to listen to his voice, says the Chazon Ovadia, and you're not allowed to do a seba in front of him. Okay, so that's also very, very important. Okay, fine. This is now. Okay, perfect. The next one is
It'd be interesting to know if just like Machulet Kevodo needs to be beferush, whether the Akpada needs to be beferush, because most of us grew up in homes of Moroccan fathers who are very makpid. The question is, would the Akpada need to be, Akpada is the wrong word, but would the level of strict need to be specifically stated, or should you just assume my father is a strict guy, I'm not going to do this? It's just a thought.
No, I think though that here it had to be the other way around, which means that here, since the mistama was av machil livneh, it has to be the other way around. But the akpada has to be befurush, and just like the other way around by the rabbi that the reshut has to be befurush, here the akpada has to be bereshut. And the reason why is because even though a lot of people grew up with Moroccan fathers, but even with that being said, they weren't as makpidim in certain things as others. I'll give you an example. In Chot Kibud Avayim, it's brought down that you're not allowed to sit beside your father at all, which means even on the same table, because it's as if you're showing that you're equal in some way. Now, no matter what, if you go to any Moroccan synagogue, there was always the children were right beside their parents, no matter what. So there was a certain, you're right, you weren't able to speak back in a certain way, or you weren't able to this or that, or you had to stand up 100%. But in certain aspects, they were more machil livneh, which does make sense. So again, this is just my opinion, right? Even though I didn't see it, written down anywhere, but I would probably be medayek that it would have to be the other way around. Okay. Now, the next one is like this: the Mishnah on Sif Katan Yutet, it's right over here, says Tzarich Heseba. What does it mean here that you need Heseba? Va'afilu bifnei adono, right? That means even in front of his own master. So again, one more time, we had son to father, student to his master, or we're going to say student to his rabbi, right? Whether it's Rav Muvhak or not. And now we're having Shamash to his master. So it says here, Vafilu bifnei adono, even in front of his master. But even though he's always subjugated to come and to do different things in the house, which means he's obligated to do certain things in the house. He's obligated to show cherut on the night of Pesach. So he has to eat at the minimum the kazait matzah, kazait afikumen, and the dalekos obeseba, right? So that was it's a chidush, but that's what we're trying to say, that he's obligated on the night of Pesach to show his cherut. Says the Mishnah Berurah, behu adin poel sheyesh lo talmid londo umanut. Right? So once upon a time, the way that it was, you used to have an apprentice. What was an apprentice? You have somebody that he's trying to train on the job. So therefore, he's a worker. Right? You're a worker. You're, whether it's, a carpenter, right, doctor, whatever it is, and you have people training underneath you. So it says you have a talmid that you're teaching in the umanut. Chayav talmid beseba. So the talmid is also going to be chayav beseba. V'chen avadim ivrim. The same lacha would apply to avadim ivrim. Chayavim beseba al kol panim bekzait rishon keshamash ulinyan eve kenani ayim be'acharonim. So here, okay, I don't know exactly do we have to actually do it or not. It just says that Maran Belet Yosef says that lifnei adono eno mesev. Okay, so if anybody has an Eved Ivri, somebody's scribbling all over here. Is that me again? Let me just check again. Annotate. Right? Undo. So basically, like this, right? So basically, what we're trying to say is so basically what we're trying to say is like this. We're trying to say is that unless somebody has an Eved Ivri that they could actually try to find out what's halakha, but for sure if we're just going to do a quick summary, a son to the father is obligated no matter what, unless the father is makpid, obviously. The student to his rabbi, whether muvak or no muvak, is a sur unless he asks for permission. And then there was a whole question about what happens if they have their own separate table or not. And then it's still better to come and to write the permission. And then we had also, again, they're drying. And then we had also the concept as well as the, how do you call it, as the shamash to his master, or a poel to his students, that they're obligated to do it. Okay, so that was Sif Vav. We're continuing now to Sif Zayin. Sif Zayin, Shulchan Aruch says, Kol mi shetzarich heseba, imachal o shata belo heseba lo yatsa. So this is a very, very, very important halacha. Here it says, if somebody needs to do heseba, if they ate or drank without heseba, lo yatsa, they were not yotzei yechova, וצריך לחזור לאכול ולשתות בהסבה. And they have to eat again and drink again with heseba. Now here I have a number 6. Number 6 says, ואם שכח לעצב בשקיעת כוס ראשונה ולא נזכר עד שסיים אשר הגיע לנו, which means if a person came and they forgot in the first cup to lean, and they only remembered until he finished אשר הגיע לנו, ישתה כוס אחד בהסבה, wait a little bit, and then ימזוג כוס שני, pour a second cup, and then yishtil b'heseba, and then you're going to drink it again b'heseba. So this is a very interesting halacha. That means basically the first cup you forgot, you drank it without heseba, and then you only remembered when the second cup around came, and all of a sudden they say, hey, heseba, yeah. So you come, you start drinking, and then you say, 1 second, I didn't do the first cup heseba. So now says the Chazon Ovadia, what you would have to do is you would have to wait, pour a second cup, and then drink it again with the heseba. So that's what's brought down. Now, also, we're going to see that there's going to be a difference between Sfaradim and Ashkenazim about the cups and about everything in this seed. Okay? So now, Pashtut of Shulchan Aruch, what does it mean in Machalo Shatav Lo Heseba, the Lo Yatsa, and you have to eat and drink again? What are we talking about? Which cups? Which food? What are we talking about? What do you guys think? No? Nobody thinks anything?
What's the question again?
One more time, if everyone could listen. Right? It says like this. Right now, Shulchan Aruch says, Kol mi shetzarich heseba, anybody that needs heseba, im machal o shata belo heseba, if you ate or you drank without heseba, you are not yitzarech chova, וצריך לחזור לאכול ולשתות בהסבה. You have to eat again and drink again בהסבה. What are we talking about? In which case? What does it mean that if you ate without a heseba or drank without a heseba, you have to eat and drink again?
We're talking about the 4 cups and whatever you're supposed to eat with.
Chazat Baruch says, Chaim, he says all 4 cups. So listen very carefully now to the Ramah. Okay, but that means it's all 4 cups, all the matzot, even though we're going to speak about the fikoman also later on, but 1 minute. Says the Ramah, some people say that again, we're bringing down the same Ravya. Where do we see the Ravya? We saw it on the previous page. Ravya was the one that said that even though women nowadays for Ashkenazim, they're all chashuvot, right? But the minhag was not to do it like the Ravya. Why? The Ravya says that nowadays nobody does heseba. When was the last time you went and you leaned? Whether you think you're a king or you're not a king, you don't lean. So says the Ramah, that it's not normal to lean, we could rely upon the Ravya, shebediavad yatsa belo heseba. Bediavad, you're going to be yotzei chova without heseba at all. So now from the beginning of the Ramah, it's mashma on what cases, on everything, correct? On completely from one extreme to the other extreme. Maran says you have to do everything again. Comes the Ramah, we have the Ravya. B'diavad, you're going to be tzorchova without any heseba whatsoever, right? That's a chidush, no? And now listen to the Ramah now even more though. It says the Ramah, v'nireli, however though, we're going to make like a compromise. What does that mean? V'nireli, it appears to me, im lo shata kos shlishi or revi'i be'heseba, if you didn't drink the 3rd or 4th cup be'heseba, en lachzor v'lishtot be'heseba, there, don't drink another cup. Why? Because there's a suspicion that it looks like you're adding to the cups. But on the first 2 cups, you should drink it again, but without a bracha. Now, the Ramah here is mentioning bracha. What about Maran and bracha? Maran and bracha, we didn't actually speak about bracha. Right? So it's interesting also because again, Maran did not mention anything about bracha. He just said, do it again. Bracha, Maran didn't mention bracha, but here he's saying you should do it. So now, what's happening? One more time. The Ramah brings down a Ravya. The Ravya is telling you that you could fulfill meaning you could rely upon the Ravia, that b'diavad, post factum, after the fact, if you did not do Heseba, it's okay. But then he says, however, though, I'm going to make a compromise. The last 2 cups, cup number 3 and 4, don't drink it again. Why? Because it looks like you're adding on to the cups. Meaning that if it's already the 3rd and 4th cup, it looks like you're adding. However, though, the first 2 cups, it doesn't look like you're adding. Can one of you please explain to me, without looking in the Mishabra, right? What is the reason why the last 2, it looks like you're adding, and the first 2, it does not look like you're adding?
By the 3rd, you're already drunk, so you don't know what you're doing.
Chaim, I think by the first, you're already drunk.
So if you do the first 2 and then you repeat them, you end up at 4. But if you finish the 4 and you have to add an additional 2, then you look like you're at 6.
One more time. If you're at the last,
if you did the first 2 and realize that you did not do Heseba, and then you add and then you repeat. Oh wait, no, forget what I was gonna say, because it'll still be 6 cups at the end. It'll still look number. Like you.
Yeah, mute
it's the same number. Yeah.
Go
mute me out.
Anybody else?
Aywa, Ronnie, todavía no tomaste las copas, ya estás borracho.
Anybody else? No? So
No.
I'm gonna. Yeah, if somebody else wanted?
No.
No, fine. So it says here like this. I thought, right? I'm sure we probably saw it somewhere, but it's another reason. It's because, are you allowed to drink cups in the middle of the Seudah?
In the middle of a Seudah? Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
You could drink whatever you want in the middle of the Seudah.
Yes.
So therefore, what happens is like this. When you have the 3rd and 4th cup, when is the 3rd cup? After
the Seudah.
After the Seudah, after Birkat Hamazon. So now after the 3rd cup, you're not allowed to add another cup. After the 4th cup, you're not allowed to add another cup. The 3rd and 4th cup, you're already finished. There's nothing else what to do. So therefore, if I'm now going to come after the 3rd and 4th cup and start drinking extra cups, even though you're right, it was because I didn't clean, it looks like you're adding on to the extra cups. However, though, the first 2 cups, it doesn't look like it. Maybe I'm just adding adding an extra cup? I could be in the middle of my Seudah, I could have another 10 cups if I want. I could have the entire day. Now you understand what you're saying, Chaim, that you're going to get drunk. You understand? Because you could just start adding and adding and adding. There's no problem. Let's just try to see if that's what's actually brought down in the Mishnah Berurah. Let me just see. This is Kaf Aleph. Let's see if it's Kaf Aleph. Says the Mishnah Berurah. No, that's below Bracha. Yeah, we're going to see it here. This is going to be between the first one and the second one. It's going to be right here in this Mishnah Berurah Kaf Aleph. Okay, let's continue the Ramah though, and then we're going to see it. So it says the Ramah, right? Sorry, I read the wrong place. Back up here. Sorry. Next, v'chen ba'achilat matzah. The same halacha would apply to achilat matzah. V'lechatechila yesev. So lechatchila, you have to be mesev. You have to lean. Kol haseudah. So it says lechatchila, you should try to lean the entire seudah. So this is actually what's brought down in the Ramah. Now on these words on kol haseudah, lashon Rambam, ushar achilato ushtiato, im mesev הרי זה משובח. ונראה שזוהי גם כוונת הרמה. וכן משמע דרכי משה, which means this. Even though I just used the words in the Ramah, or what's written in the Ramah was, right? lechatchila yesev, right? Kol haseudah, it does not mean that it's an obligation. Lechatchila yesev kol haseudah means harei ze meshubach. It's praiseworthy to lean the entire seudah, but it's not an obligation to lean throughout the entire seudah. Okay, very, very important. So let's go back to the Mishnah Berurah. So again, we're talking about in the Mishnah Berurah the difference between Maran and the Ramah. Okay, here, and when it says Kamosif al Kosot, right? The footnote number 7 in the Ish Matziyah says, "Ve'anu en lanu nadat Maran de'Heseba me'akeve bechol hakosot." So it comes out that for Sfaradim, there's nothing what to do. For Sfaradim, you did not drink one of the cups properly with Heseba, you've had it. You're going to have another one, right? So he says, "Mikol makom." Nevertheless, in eno bekava briut, if somebody's not healthy, bekashe alav meod lachol, and he cannot drink it again, יכול לסמוך על המקילים שלא לחזור לשתות, אפילו בשתי כוסות ראשונות. Then he could be even lenient, even in the first 2 cups, which means not even like the Ramah, right? That means basically, mamash, a person that's not healthy, he could be somech on the Ravya, right, without any problem. That's what's brought down in the Ishmatziach on the bottom. Okay, so let's
But do we say Faradim with Beracha or no Beracha?
Very good. So Beracha, we're going to have to see the Mishna Berurah, Kaf Aleph, I have a footnote over there, right, but we're going to see. Now, obviously for us, right, we're not going to do Beracha because which Berachot do we do? What's the difference between Ashkenazim and Sfaradim and Berachot?
The second and the fourth cup. Huh?
Ashkenazim, they bless for, they do more blessing, but which one? Every cup? No.
We don't say on the second and the fourth. They do.
Very good. We don't say on the second and the fourth. Some Ashkenazim will do every single one. They'll do a Beracha. But let's see. Okay, that's what we're going to get to. Now, the reason why we don't do which?
And I think here, Rabbi Naim, he said that was the chidush he said last year, that you are yotze le berachot, but you're not yotze is the cherut. But he breaks it down into 2. That's the chidush that he brings here. And
again, one more time.
Forgot. Last year he told you that. Remember?
That what? That he breaks
That's
up?
what he spoke about in the shul.
Right. That you're going to be a tzachovat the berachot.
Forgot. According to Maran, he has to go back and he has to say all 4, drink all 4. But berachot he doesn't have to say. Why? Because there's 2 different mitzvot, and he breaks them down into 2. So he says mitzad beracha you were yotze, you drank the wine, but mitzad cherut showing you were not yotze, and that's why you have to drink them all 4. That was what he was explaining last year.
Right. Exactly. Chazak Uruch. That was, I think it was a brisker Rav. No, that he said that he was making that's what I heard. It's true. Yeah, the brisker Rav, that he was making a differentiation between the Haggadah, that you were Yitzchakova, the Haggadah part, but you weren't Yitzchakova, the Heseba part, meaning that it was like a different, Chazak Uruch. Very good. Okay, so then that's what we're going to actually see, but that's why the Ramah brings it down, by the way. Because here, when the Ramah brings down, again, I went to the wrong place, here it is. Because for him, it is a bit chidush that you're not going to do the bracha. For Sfaradim, you already did the bracha on the first one. You understand? But for Ashkenazim, on the second one, you would also do a bracha. So let's see what the Mishna Berurah says. Mishna Berurah says, "V'nirelim lo shata." So this is going on the Raviyah. Let me just make sure. Kaf. Yeah, the kaf is on the Raviyah. No, sorry. V'nireli is on his pshara, is on his compromise. So let's see the compromise of the Ramah after reading the Raviyah. So it says back here, down here like this. V'nirelim lo shata. Rotze lomar, it means to say, the ben kosot arishonot, that between the first kosot, the mutal lishtot kama debae, you could drink whatever you want. Meaning between the first kosot, you could drink whatever you want. You could drink another 20 kosot if you want. Siman taf. This is probably a fix. Where is that Aleph? I don't know where that Aleph took it. Taf. 1 second, let me just check over here. Yeah, there's a little Aleph here. Taf Ein Gimel, Sif Gimel. Okay, so it's Taf Ein Gimel, Sif Gimel, not Taf Pei. That's a mistake there. So the Vehu Lo Amrinan Shnimeke Mosifa Lakosot, because it does not, with these 2 cups, it doesn't look like you're adding on the cups. Tzarich lachzor v'lishtot, so you have to add on. Im lo asa heseba, if you didn't do heseba, delu yehe ela shtiyat reshut, nami shari. Because even if you're just adding on for the shoot for no reason whatsoever, stam I want to add it in, that's also going to be permitted. Matzein ken, but on the other hand, im shachach le'asev b'kosot acharnot, if you forgot to do heseba in the last cups, en lachzor v'lishtot, you don't have to drink it again. Sharei shtiyat reshut asur sham, because there you're not allowed to drink any other cups. But then it looks like you're adding on to the cups. If according to Raviyah you don't have to do a seba, so according to Shitat Raviyah it's considered shtiyat reshut, and then it's going to be asur. So he's trying to say that even if you do hold like the Raviyah, the first 2 cups you should still do it. Why? Says the Ramah, because at the end of the day it's still reshut. So if it's a shoot, and I'm not adding on to any other cups, because I'm allowed to drink whatever I want, so do it. So therefore, says the Ramah, first 2 cups, you would have to go back and drink it again. Last 2 cups, you wouldn't have to go drink it again. Now we're talking about the bracha. So this is what we were talking about. Katam Magen Avraham. Dechol ze likar adin, This is all me'ikar adin d'reshut biyado lishtot kama kosot. That technically speaking, you could drink as many kosot as you want. Aval, however, though the minhagenu shen shotim shum kosot afilu bekosot rishonot. However, though the minhag is nobody adds any cups. How many cups do you have on the night of Pesach? 4. Nobody's going to add any extra cups. All right? So this is, by the way, the proof that up here when it said tafei, it was really tafayin gimel sif gimel. Havele kinimlach. It's considered nimlach. Nimlach means again that what? That I decided to stop drinking. Vim shoteh. If I do want to drink again, now I have to make a bracha. Which means if a person right now finished their meal and now all of a sudden they want to drink again. So therefore, the second they finish the meal, they took themselves out of the meal. You have to make a new bracha. So he says the Magen Avraham, according to our minhag, that we never add any other cups. So the second that you're going to decide to do this, it's like nimlach, and then you do have to make a new bracha. Yosif od, and he said more. Furthermore, that according to this, afilu ben rishon l'sheni en kedai she'achzor v'yishteh. Don't drink it again. Because now you're going to make a new bracha on it. It looks like you're now going to add another cup. Right? So he wants to say that it comes out of a chidush according to Magen Avraham. Again, the entire concept is we don't want it to look like you're adding cups. So we said before, since you could always drink extra cups in between the first 2 cups, right? So there's no problem. Says the Magen Avraham, according to us, if the minhag is that you never drink an extra cup, it's as if that you already decided not to drink. Umimela, if you decided not to drink, so what's going to happen? Now you have to make a new bracha. If you have to make a new bracha, it looks like you are adding on another cup. So if you're adding on another cup, again, you're not allowed to add kosot. So it comes out that even on the second cup, you're not supposed to do it again. So basically, the Magen Avraham is bringing down like a more of a okay, it's a leniency, stringency, whichever way you want to look at it, that you're not going to do Heseba for the second cup as well. Meaning not only for number 3 and 4 you don't have to do it again, but even for the second one. However, though mihu in shachach velo esev bekos sheni yachzor v'yishteh b'Heseba b'li bracha. But if you forgot the second cup, do it again without a bracha. The lovi kinimlach was here. It's not nimlach, which means that it was only going to be asur the first cup. Right? Why the first cup? Because after the first cup, what's going to happen is you will need to make a bracha for the second cup. But after the second cup, according to everybody, you don't need to make a bracha. Because right after the second cup, what do you start? You finish magid, and you start the seudah. Right after, the rochza, matzi matzah, korech, all those things, you start immediately seudah. So therefore, what's going to happen is that according to the Magen Avraham, the first cup, you would not do Heseba again. Meaning that you would not do again the bracha, but you would have to do the bracha again. So you're not going to do it again. For the second cup, you would, but you would do it without a bracha. And that's why the Rama said to do it without a bracha. No, that's what those were the words. Below bracha. Yeah. He says, Vishteh below bracha. So the Magen Avraham says that the first one you would need to do a bracha again. The second one you wouldn't need to do a bracha again. Okay? So he says, גם בתוך הסעודה אני רוצה לשתות, אני צריך לברך, נסומך על ברכת כוס שני. ונכון שקודם שמברך על כוס ראשון, יהיה בדעתו לחזור ולשתות בין הכוסות הראשונות, ואז אפילו ייתה וישתה כוס ראשון בלי הסבה, יוכל לשתות כוס אחר בהסבה, ובלי ברכה, ולא יהיה נראה כמוסיף. The Berurah is giving us a beautiful way, again, not for Sfaradim. For Sfaradim, all this doesn't talk about, but for Ashkenazim, he's giving you a beautiful way to get out of the problem. How do you get out of the problem? He says it's very simple. When you're saying the Porepia Gefen, you're also going to have in mind any type of drinking between the first and second cup. And therefore, even if a person made a mistake, they could drink again that cup, again without Heseba, with Heseba the second time around, without a bracha, and it doesn't look like you're being mosif on the kosot. Okay, does this make sense? Everybody with me? Or I lost everyone?
Yes, we're good. I'm good.
Yeah, you're good? Everyone else is good? Okay, perfect.
So long as Sammy's good, we're all good.
Okay, very, very good. So the truth is, though, that it's even also very important to understand because it's actually even deeper than that. Because what happens is that this halakha is also brought down by Hemrock Minhag in, if I remember correctly, I think it's Siman Chet. In Siman Chet and Shulchan Aruch, we know that according to Shita Maran, if your talit completely falls off, okay, if your talit completely falls off, so therefore what you have to do is you have to make a new bracha. Okay, that's Shita Maran. So imagine I've got my talit and it completely falls on the floor. I have to make a new bracha. Whether it's Rav Ovadia, the Mishna Berurah, and everybody else says, you don't need to make a new bracha. If I remember correctly, the Berurah brings down a Chayei Adam. The Chayei Adam says this halacha. He says that when you make the bracha on your talit, have in mind when you make the bracha that in case that it falls, that was already your bracha for that as well. And therefore, according to everybody, if it falls down, you won't need to make a new bracha. So the Berurah does bring down this, it's the exact same concept. I mean, basically, just like over here, what are we saying? We're saying that when you're making a bracha on this cup of kiddush, I'm having in mind from the beginning that just in case I forget and I didn't do Heseba, so I'm going to drink again. In Mela, I don't need to do another bracha according to the Ashkenazim. And now that I don't need to do another bracha, it doesn't look like I'm also kusot. So then again, I'm allowed to do it without any problem. Okay? Fine. Let's continue. If anybody has something to add.
So wait. So what's halakha lema'aseh for us?
No, halakha lema'aseh for us. We mentioned according to Sfaradim, all 4 cups you have to drink it again. Doesn't matter what, unless the person has difficulty. That's what we said. We said it says over here.
Beracha or no beracha? Beracha or no beracha?
No. So without beracha, because remember when we are making the first beracha is having in mind for the first beracha, for the first cup and the second cup. And that means it's never going to happen that you're having in mind only one bracha, one cup. For the Ashkenazim, all this starts because when I'm making a bracha, it's only on this cup. The second one, I'm going to make another bracha. So it's not the same. But for a Sfaradim, every single time that I'm drinking, it's always a smach, another bracha, meaning another cup. So I'm making a bracha on the first one. I'm having in mind the first one and the second one. So even if I have to drink again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't look like now I changed my mind. Because anyway, I had to continue going with that first bracha. And the same bracha will be the third one. The third one, which is after Birkat Hamazon, I'm going to say Borei Pri Gefen. I'm also going to do for the third and fourth one, and I have to have that in mind. So that's very important. When I'm drinking the cups and I'm making the Borei Pri Gefen, for Sfaradim, I have to have in mind that it's not only for this cup, it's for this cup and the other cup as well. So therefore, for us, we wouldn't.
Anyway, Rabino, the first one we're standing up. Anyhow, we're standing up when we do the first cup kiddush. We're standing up.
But what's the difference, though, if you're standing up or sitting down? The concept is what the bracha is.
Yeah, but when you're standing up, you don't lay down. When you drink.
No. Okay. One second. You're talking about, are you allowed to stand up? Are you allowed to drink a little bit when you're standing up and then sit down? The truth is, last year, if you remember, on Shabbat HaGadol, I borrowed the Yalkut Yosef, because we don't have it in the Bet Knesset. I borrowed it from Yitzchak, and I brought down here, it's a Yalkut Yosef Amud Kuf Lamed Aleph. The problem is I only wrote down the page, but I didn't write down what he said. So there, apparently, the Yalkut Yosef and Amud Kuf Lamed Aleph says, are you allowed lishtot me'at min hakos yeshiva and then do Heseba? Again, the way that I wrote it, it's probably mashma that it's okay. So basically,
it's okay.
It's okay. That's what he says, no?
Yeah, it says Rashai Lasot Ken if you're doing it just so you don't get dirty.
Exactly. That means you have a full cup. So if you're going to drink a little bit, right, and then you come and you lean, that's going to be okay. So that there's no problem, Amram. So that's going to be okay in such a case. Even though if you remember...
No, Rabbi. No, that's not what Amram said. Amram said that the first cup you're drinking standing up. That's what he said.
No, I didn't understand that. Amram, you said that the first cup you're drinking the entire thing standing up?
No, you drink a little and then you sit down.
Okay, so
you bless standing.
Yeah,
bless standing.
You bless standing. No, but what he's actually saying is what's it called? Hold on 1 second. Oh, it's always the same code. I have to tell people it's always the same code to get into the. Always the same code. What he's actually saying is, if you remember, I think it was the video set when he came this past time, he said that Rav Ovadia used to drink the cup on Friday night standing up, correct? Am I remembering correctly or not? No?
I think so.
I don't remember.
Anybody remember?
That, I think. Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, I think that was the minhag of Rav Ovadia. That means basically the entire inyan of sitting down and drinking, which is basically mevusas and darizal kadosh. He wasn't makpid. He was standing up. He would drink standing up, and that's it. The majority of us are makpidim. No, sit down and then drink. But for sure, though, there's not a problem. Hold on 1 second. Let me just see if I could add somebody.
Rabino, they don't need to put the code. If they go to the first one, the code is in already. You just click, and when the people are ready, just have to put their name.
That's what I also said, but I don't know why he's saying the two numbers don't enter. I don't know.
They don't have to put the code. I don't put the code. I just click, and when it's the time, it tells me to put my name, and I click OK. That's it.
Right. Okay, fine. Hold on 1 second. No. Okay, I don't know how to add somebody now.
What Rav Mazuz is saying?
Which one?
No, sorry.
Did
saying what Rav Mazuz. I can go. I can talk.
Yeah. Talk. I'm listening.
What Rav Mazuz is saying is very interesting because he's saying that you're allowed to rely on a kula that Maran doesn't hold up. Maran says lechatchila, and it seems to be the halacha that you have to go back and drink all 4 cups.
Right.
No, and now he's telling you, Rav Mazuz says, but you can be samech on the Ashkenazim, the Ravia here, and be mekel, so you don't have to drink it if it bothers you. But the truth is that Maran himself says that this din of the 4 cups, you have to drink it even if it bothers you, even if the yain is mazik lecha. So it's weird why we tell you here, he says, but it's okay. Here, since you already drank it, it's fine because at the end of the day, it's this. I just think that, I don't know if Maran would agree with that because Maran himself says, even here, you didn't do anything. You drank the cups, great, like you drank orange juice. But this is something that you have to be mazika filu. So I would think that maybe Maran would tell you, no, listen, you have to drink it again. Oh, it bothered you. Even if it bothered you at the beginning, you'd have to drink it anyways.
Exactly. No, that's true. Let me just check here, though. Here it says...
I mean, maybe with grape juice, maybe you can do something else, but you have to drink it. Well, again, you're going to have to drink it.
So let me read to you from here. First of all, there's 2 different halachot brought down here. First of all, one is very, very interesting. It's to do with the Rav Yabi Zman Zeh. So the Bet Yosef brings down that in the name of the Galut Aminyot that the Rav Yah was a Dat Yechida, which means it's like it's only one shita. Meaning that the majority of opinions they argue on that. But then it says here the Shulchan Aruch with Fasak, right? That if you didn't do the Heseba, that's fine. The Shiurei Knesset Gedolah says that the Shulchan Aruch does not argue on the Rav Yah because the Shulchan Aruch was only speaking about a place where they do have the minhag of doing Heseba, but the Rav Yah was speaking about in a place where they don't do Heseba. So first of all, according to the Shita of the Shiurei Knesset Gedolah on the Galut Bet Yosef, it's mashma that they're not arguing really. Meaning Maran was talking about a place where they do Heseba, and the Rav Yah was talking about a place where they don't do Heseba. So that's number one. But when it talks about later on, when it's speaking about this differences, right? First of all, this Ramah that said about the first 2 cups and then the second 2 cups was based upon the Rosh. Okay. Then it says La lacha pasak Shulchan Aruch that you have to do all 4. Okay. Now it says Im lo esed b'shtiyat kos rishon, and he finished the Agada until the end. The Chazon Ovadia says that it's machlok between the Bet Yosef and Pri Chadash. Okay, about doing the hefsek. So that's what I quoted you in the bottom there. That you have to make a small little tiny hefsek, right? And then you drink the second cup with Heseba. And then it says you have to make a new beracha. The Rosh brings down that if you drank the 4th cup without Heseba, you do have to make a new B'rei Gefen. Okay? Why? Because, right, you were Masiach Dat. And that's also the psak of the Shulchan Aruch. So there is the case that according to Maran, you would need to make a new beracha. But the new beracha is only on the 4th. One. Okay, so that's number 1. Then it says, but again, we're talking about beracha. Hold on 1 second.
What do you mean on the 4th, Rabbi? Sorry.
Which one?
What do you mean on the 4th?
Meaning, if I came and I drank the 4th cup without a Heseba, and then I remembered 1 second I didn't do a Heseba, I have to drink again the 4th one. But it's not enough just to drink it. Now the Shulchan Aruch in Siman Taf Peh Sif Aleph says I have to make a bracha also on the 4th cup. And the reason why is because it was like by the Ashkenazim before. Since the fourth cup is the last cup and you're not allowed to drink after the last cup, so then it's considered like you stopped. It's considered you stopped your meal. So now if you're going to have to drink again, now you have to make a new bracha. And that's Maran Mefurash. Maran Mefurash. No,
even without the bracha achrona?
Which one?
Even if you didn't make the bracha achrona?
Yeah, even if you didn't make bracha achrona. Remember, the bracha achrona was not as if to say telling you that stopping you in that case. Here, the bracha is the fact that you're not going to drink again. You finished the fourth cup. You're not allowed to drink anything, correct? So now you're not going to drink another cup of wine, right? It's after the afikomen anyway. You're not allowed to eat. You're not allowed to drink. Okay, so they're going to tell you could drink water. You could drink, tea, coffee, or there's a machlokot over there, whatever. But okay, but the main thing, right? For sure, you're not allowed to drink a cup of wine. So therefore, if you're going to now drink a cup of wine, that's it. No, but what Yitzhak was saying is true. Is that ki'ilu that here what he's saying is that b'diavad we are being somech on the Ravya to do with hold on one second. I'm trying to see if that's going to be according to everybody. Hold on one second. No,
maybe what we could say, maybe what you could say to answer myself is that since this is at the end a mitzvah de Rabbanan, and there's a tirha, maybe the chachamim are not going to be so stringent on you because it's a tirha. Since it does bother you at the end of the day, so then they're not going to force you to do a mitzvah de Rabbanan if you can be yotzeh, if there's a mahloket between the Rabbanan on whether you are yotzeh or not, whether I made the mitzvah or not. Whereas if it doesn't bother me and I can drink the cups, then for sure everybody's going to tell you have to drink it, even Rav Mazuz. But Rav Mazuz maybe is of the opinion here that since there is a tirha, because it bothers you, it's going to affect me, it's not healthy, whatever you want to call it, maybe since it's the Rabbanan, he's going to say, you know what, there is this opinion, b'diavad, you or yotzeh, you don't have to drink it.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. But at the end of the day, you're right. At the end of the day, it's the Rabbanan. And therefore, the second it becomes difficult, so therefore he didn't... we're not going to obligate you in something like that. I guess so. Yeah, it makes sense at the end of the day. 100%. Okay, Chazak. Okay, so until here we're clear. Yeah, but remember, according to Shitat Maran, you always have to go back. Okay, so the only time that you would have to make a new bracha would be on the fourth cup, according to that. Let me just see here. Fine. Okay, good. Let's continue. Now it says here, the Rama says, "V'chem b'achilat matzah." The same halacha would apply to achilat matzah, to eating matzah. Hainu she'achzor v'yochal hakazai matzah v'lo bracha. The same thing. You're going to eat again the kazait matzah without a bracha. Says in Mishna Berurah, Mihu, however, though, b'afikoman, when we're talking about afikoman, im shachach leochlo be'heseba, if you forgot to eat it with heseba, lo yachzor v'yochelenu. Don't eat it again. Ta'asur le'echol shne pa'amim afikoman. It's asur to eat twice afikoman. So this is very interesting. Why is this going to be very interesting? Because you have a number one over there. You see that little number one? If you go down to the number one, he's going to tell you, look at the Mishna Berurah, Siman Tafayin Zayin Dalet, Linyan Lo Achal Pesah, which means that there's going to be a stira in the Mishna Berurah. Listen to the stira in the Mishna Berurah. If I'm going to ask you what we just learned right now, a person by any other matzah, or they're talking about motzi matzah, or they're talking about korech, if a person came and ate without heseba, matzah, does he have to eat it again? What do you guys say?
Well, it says v'chem b'achilat matzah, so mistam haya.
Yeah, yes. And the Mishna Berurah told you 100%. Yeah. Look in Siman Tafayin Zayin, Sif Katan Dalet, right? If anybody has there I'm going to read it out to you, okay? Because I'm not gonna. By the time I bring it up on the screen, you're gonna have things. So I'm gonna bring it over here. Actually, no. Hold on 1 second. No, I'm gonna have to read it. Give me 1 second. So I'm gonna read to you. Says Sif Katan Dalet, B'diavad, im shachach ve'achlo b'lo heseba. He says, if you forgot and you ate without a seba, אין צריך לחזור ולאכול אם קשה עליו האכילה. If it's very difficult for him to eating, he doesn't have to go back. Mashma, like what says in the footnote here in the Ishmatzliach, that if it's not difficult for him to eat, he should eat it again. So why by us does he say that he doesn't eat it again? Again, one more time. Here, I'm putting my cursor, right? Umihu, afikoman shachach lo beseba, lo yachzor v'yochelenu. Do not eat it again. Why not? Because it's a sur to eat twice the afikoman. Here in Siman Tafayin Zayin, which that is a Mekor Din of a Fikoman, that's the Siman of the Fikoman, there it says in the Mishnah, if it's not difficult, you should eat it again. Okay? So, there's a few different answers on this. One answer that they want to give is that we are going above on the Shita of the Ravya. Right? Which means that if you're going on the Ravya, which the Ravya Maran was pushed off completely, so therefore you're not going to do it again, because here we're going like the Ravya. Okay? That's one answer, but it's the chuk at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, what's the difference? Okay? But the other answer, you could find it actually in the Dirshu, and here the Ishmatzliach also brings it down the same thing, is the Igrot Moshe. The Igrot Moshe and the Dirshu both bring down that the difference between our Siman and the other Siman is, anybody knows?
Yeah, I mean, it's the Dirshu brings it. You can read it on the Dirshu.
Yeah, but nobody has the Dirshu other than you, probably. I didn't even take out my Dirshu yet.
It talks about Birkat Hamazon.
Very good. Which means like this: when we were talking about over here was that you already said Birkat Hamazon. So since you already said Birkat Hamazon, what happens is that the second that you said Birkat Hamazon, that's it. Kaddish. Why? Because if you're gonna now have to eat Afikoman again, you're gonna have to do again Netilat Yadayim, again Namotzin, again Afikoman, and then it comes out that you're eating the Afikoman twice. So in such a case, it doesn't work. However, though, right over there, we're talking about that you didn't do Birkat Hamazon. So if you didn't do Birkat Hamazon, so therefore in such a case, that's why you should eat again from the Afikoman. And that's what he says here in the Ishmatzliach as well.
But the lashon of the Mishnah Berurah is very kasher. It tells you, Asur le'echol shenei pe'amim afikoman. This isn't about bracha she'eno tzricha, birkat hamazon, no birkat, about a din that you can't have an afikoman twice.
Right. But when does it look like you're not having the afikoman twice? Only if you said birkat hamazon. Because I'm going to give you the example. When you eat the afikoman, how many kazetim do you eat for afikoman? 2. Why 2? According to some shitot, 1 is already enough. So you're already doing a chumrah of doing 2, meaning why isn't that considered you're eating 2 afikomans? Because when you're in the middle of eating a afikoman, you could continue eating and eating and eating and eating. You could eat 20 million kazetim for afikoman if you want. There's no isur, right? It's like the drinking. If you're going to have a huge cup, right? We're not talking about separate cups, right? Because that's the difference obviously between a cup and food, right? I could be machniz and I'm going to do chazonish. So every single kazait, and I'm going like the Yalkut Yosef, that I don't do like the leniency of Rav Ben Sion and Rav Benaim. Remember, Rav Ben Sion and Rav Benaim say that we go like the nefach, which is the volume, which means that every matzah, if it weighs 20 grams, it for sure has 28 grams of volume. And therefore, that is a kazait, which means when I fill up my bags, I don't have a bag here, but I'm going to fill up my bags of matzah. All I have to do is I put the bags of matzah and I have my weight and I go for 20. Once I go 20, I know I have 28 grams of volume and I'm okay. The Yalkut Yosef, if you remember, it was mashma that he doesn't see that. It's mashma that you have to have 28 grams of weight. So you're having much more. Now, and that's all without shitat chazonish and all the others on how much is a kezait. So I could be machmid and all of a sudden start having how much is a. Let me just check. I don't know if I have it here in the back of the chazonish to try to check. So if you're in the middle of a meal, you can continue eating and eating and eating the afikoman. You're not adding anything. When does it be'emet start adding? When you're be'emet, you're going to have to start making anu brachot and everything else. So that was the shita of the Igrot Moshe, how to answer it up. I can't find it here. That's how he answers it up. And the truth is, it's also the same brought down in the Chazon Ovadia, he brings it down, the Ishmatziach brings down, the Dirshu brings down, everybody brings down that same answer for the Mishnah Berurah. But if not, it's true. It sounds very dochak. Like you're reading it, and one place he's telling you shouldn't eat it at all, because it's asur le'echol. Again, he's using the word asur le'echol shne pa'amim afikomen. And then all of a sudden here in Siman Tafayin Dain, he comes and he tells you, by the way, if it's not difficult, if it's difficult for him to eat, he doesn't have to eat it again. So if it's not difficult, it means you should eat again. How? It's a sur. So again, that was the answer of the Igrot Moshe, just to answer it out. We've seen this a few times. Even in Chot Shabbat, there's also a famous stira between the Mishnah Berurah to do with the ladle. What is a ladle on Shabbat? Is the ladle considered a kli sheni or a kli shlishi? So there's a stira in the Mishnah Berurah in Siman Shin Yudchet, and I think it's Reshnum Gimel, and he answers it up. But there it's not the Igrot Moshe, there it says Min Chatitzcha, the same type of an answer that it depends where he's speaking about. Right? That means basically in the right there, okay, just so what you guys should know, it's a very interesting machloket there as well. To do with a ladle, what is a ladle considered? I actually just had this question this past week. A woman called me up and she asked me, Rabbi, I had my cleaner took from a soup, which was a milky soup on the fire. She came and she took with this milky soup and she put it inside of a earthenware vessel, a kli cheres. Now we're learning in the Daf Yomi, if you remember, earthenware absorbs, but you can't take it out unless you break it. Right? But there's nothing else. It absorbs the gamarnu. There's nothing what to do. So what happened was that my first question that I wanted to find out was this earthenware a kli shlishi or not? Right? Because there's a shita in Siman Kufei and Yoda Deah that maybe by kli shlishi it's not bolea, and therefore you would be lenient by earthenware. But here she wasn't. So now, how are you going to make it into a kli shlishi? What's the din of the ladle? They used the ladle, right? So they came from the pot of soup and they had a ladle, and they're coming and they're taking out from a ladle. So what is the din of that ladle? Now, according to everybody, if the ladle stays inside there, there's a Pitchet Shuvah there in Yisur Betel that says that if the ladle stays inside there, it retains the status quo of a Kli Rishon. Why? Because it became so hot, so if you leave the ladle there, it becomes like a Kli Rishon. Then there's other shittot of the
ladle is un cucharon.
See, un cucharon. Yes. Yeah, matzeket in Hebrew. Right? It's a cucharon, yeah. So then the Or Letzion and the Chazon Ish want to give a different yisod. They want to say that if it was on the fire, so then what happens is that the ladle is like a kli rishon. If it's off the fire, then the ladle is like a kli sheni, right? Which means that each one becomes removed. And the reason why is because they say that if it's on the fire, it still has its main source. So therefore, since it has still its main source, it retains that status quo, and therefore when the ladle comes in, it could still stay like a kli rishon. However, though, when it's off the fire, it doesn't. That's almost like the same Chazon Ish that Rav Benaim is machmir on, to do with that when you're serving from a kettle, from an urn, according to the Chazon Ish, when you come and you're going to take a kli rishon, I don't have a here, right? Again, we're always doing the purel, yeah? So you have when I'm pouring from an urn and it's going to go into the cup,
Free
if it's
commercial.
going to be, which one?
Free commercial.
Free commercial. So it says if it's going to be connected, right? So if it's going to be connected up and down, what happens is that still retains the status of a kli rishon. It does not become a kli sheni. So for me to make a cup of tea, I would have to have like another cup, meaning that this first original cup is not a kli sheni. This is still a kli rishon. I have to pour it to another one and then another one. That's a shita of the Chazon Ish, and Rav Benaim is also machmin in that, even though we're usually more meken. But that's just so that's the concept there. But the Min Chatitzak answers right over there. Then no, that really what we're talking about is he says it all depends what we're judging on. In the case of the Mishnah Berurah where he says that it's a kli shlishi, it was the question, is the ladle a kli sheni or shlishi? I say it's like a shlishi. But if the question if it's a kli rishon to kli sheni, so then it's like a kli rishon. I'm going like more lachmid. So each one I'm going in a separate thing. So here the same thing. We have a contradiction in the Mishnah Berurah, and we're just basically saying that it's two different halachot. Here we're talking about you already did Birkat Hamazon. So therefore you're not going to eat it again, because if not, it looks like you're eating twice a fikuman. The other case, you didn't do Birkat Hamazon, so if you're still able to, try to have the fikuman again. That's the way to answer that.
There's two other answers that the issue brings. Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach wins an answer. And he says that it depends on He says that here it's talking about where you finished eating it. So you're in the middle of eating it and then you remember. And here it's talking about that you already finished eating. And that's his answer. And the Shonei Halachot brings another answer that it talks about where you had the siach da'ato from eating it. So one is in a continuation. For example, I started eating, and then midway through eating it, I realized, so can I continue eating? So he says, as long as I'm continuing eating, I can continue and I can do it, and therefore there wouldn't be a stira between one and the other.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So it's a siach da'ato or the other one.
Right.
It's almost the same thing.
Yeah, they're almost the same answer. They're basically that you didn't, either you're in the middle of eating it. Okay, I don't know how you see that also there, but again, it's right. But like Rodney said, at the end of the day, if you're going to read the Lashon in each one, if you're going to be mamash medaktek and medaktek, you can find a problem in all of them. But everybody asks the stira. Like, here you had a little tiny one, right? So right here, this little tiny one over here. Also by there, you had a little tiny one. And it brings you back to here. So everybody asks this contradiction in the Mishnah Berurah, but that's where you have it. Okay? Fine. Next, the last one in the Seif, Kol Suda. So basically, the Rama said you should have the entire Suda in Heseba. So it says, Bachilato v'shtiato, whether you're eating and drinking. Ubdiavad yatsa b'shat achila kezait matzah v'dal kosot. So ubdiavad you're going to be tzechova with eating the kezait the matzah v'dal kosot u'gabe shamash. Given shutaru darin like diavad legabe kodam. So basically, a shamash for sure doesn't have to do that. But again, everybody else, they should do that. And again, even though the Rama was mashma the lechatchila, you should do it. The Ish Matzliach quoted that it's only a reze meshubach, which means that it's praiseworthy, but it's not an obligation. So people shouldn't feel that it's like an obligation to do that. Okay? Fine, let's just do one more seif. Okay? One more seif in Shulchan Aruch says, seif chet. צריך לשתות 4 כוסות על הסדר, ואם שטען זה אחר זה, שלא כסדר, לא יצא. So you have to drink the 4 כוסות ala seder, which means one after another, right? What it means, ala seder. Now, if you're going to drink them lo ala seder, one after another, you're not Yivutzei Chova. So let's see exactly what does the Mishnah Berurah say. Pirush, sheyomar haggadah b'natayim. When it means ala seder, means that ala seder haggadah, which means you're not just taking a cup and saying 1, 2, 3, 4. No, you drank one, you said the haggadah, drank the second one, again the different parts of the haggadah, you drank the third, you continue going. So that's ala seder. But if you did it zeh achar zeh, one after another, it says Mishnah Berurah kafei, or what happens if I put all 4 kosot in one cup and I drank them? So imagine I've got 4 cups in one cup. I put all of 4 in one. So he says in such a case, also lo yatsa, you're not going to mitzvah chova. Uvepri megadim mitzadeh, so the pri megadim is going to be mitzadeh. Shafilu yifsik benatayim, that even if you did a hefsek in between, v'amar haggadah nami, right, and you said the haggadah, nami lo yatsa, you're also not going to be yatzeh chova. Why? The arba kosot ba'inan. Because at the end of the day, you need 4 cups. Meaning, even though I had one big, huge cup, and I drank a little bit now, and then I said haggadah, I drank a little bit, I said haggadah, I drank a little bit, no. You need 4 cups. It does not help one huge cup and all the measurements of the 4 cups inside. So there's a din in the arba kosot. You need 4 kosot, and then there's a din that you also need it in the seder of the haggadah in itself. Okay? Let me just make sure there's nothing else here. I have to go back. Number 3 here says, I am Berurah לך כאן שיקשה לפרי מגדים וכן יסתור חזו בנראה שאין צריך בכל פעם כוס חדשה. מי הוא עליו לתקן פגימת הכוס בכל פעם על ידי שיוסיף עליו מעט יין או מים. So basically he's saying, okay, now I understood. I wouldn't have cut that otherwise. Did you guys realize that it says over here, the arba kosot ba'inan? How did you understand arba kosot? I thought it was pashut, but here they're actually saying to exclude that basically, do not tell me that you need 4 separate cups, meaning a cup for each cup. He says no. He says you could use the same cup for all of them, but you just have to add on, right? Whether it's to fix the pagam on every single one, whether you're adding on a little bit of wine or water, and there's no problem whatsoever. Because apparently, why would I not have thought of that? Because apparently there's a pri megadim. Yeah, look in the pri megadim right here. Look here in the Berurah לך. I am Mishnah Berurah, מה שכתב בשם הפרי מגדים. So look at the Mishnah Berurah, when he writes in the name of the pri megadim, ואפילו שתה בד' פעמים, רק מכוס אחד, that even if you drank 4 times from one cup, לא יצא. ובאמת לא מסתבר כלל. He says, but it's not מסתבר at all. Why? He says, what, you need 4 cups, right? Separate cups for 4 different times? Even from the next seif, it's also mashma the opposite. If you have in the one jug a lot of reviyot, so you could split up the cup. Imagine right now I have, right, or a cup that could hold 5 reviyot. So I could drink one revi, he could drink a revi, then you keep going. One until you finish. So each person could do that. So you know unless you're going to be doche, and also there you're not going to do chovah, so basically here the Vladi says also that it's called the dochak, right? It says over here the chabura kula yotzeh mitzad lekosot shetim kula mikad echad vehu hefech hafim redim. So basically he said that there's no problem. So it's interesting though to note that I never knew that a Pri Megadim like this exists, but it's mashma from the Pri Megadim that you're not even supposed to drink from the same cup. So you should actually have like separate cups. Okay, fine. Let's continue. The last Mishna Berurah says over here lo yatsa. What does it mean here lo yatsa? So it says over here you're not going to be chovah. וצריך לחזור לשתות עוד 3 כוסות על הסדר. So you have to drink another 3 cups. ונראה וצריך לברך אתה על כל כוס וכוס. So now you have to make a new bracha on every single cup. ולא כמוסיף על הכוסות. So here you're not adding on the כוסות. Even though it's but you went to the chovah בכלל on the first cup. So since you weren't in the chovah in the first cup, you're not adding on the other kosot. ופשוט דלאו דווקא משתן כולן שלא לסדר. It's only if you drank them, right, שלא לסדר. והוא הדין אם שתה כוס רביעית תכף אחר שלישית גם כן לא יצא. והכולו כזה בעניין. That means every single one of them needs to be kaseder. Meaning what happens if a person's tired, and at the end of the Haggadah, he just finished the Afikomen, he says Birkat HaMazon, and right after Birkat HaMazon, he drinks the 3rd cup, he says, you know what, Halel, Nirtzah, I'm already in my dreams, 4th cup, boom. There's not, even if you're going to drink the 4th cup after the 3rd cup, you're not going to be Tzei Chovah. And the reason why is because we need every single one to be ala seder. Okay, that's very, very important just to know. Okay, so Bezrat Hashem, we just finished, this is Sif Chet. So Bezrat Hashem, we'll try to continue even tomorrow night, Bezrat Hashem. Okay, it'll be the same time after our
Thank
you, Rabbi.
Okay,
Answer my text.
Okay.
Call to Vatsacha.
Thank you, Rabbi. Call to.
Same point.